Everybody's AJ speaking. Just want to provide a quick overview of the global EV market. The numbers that you see in front of you comprise exclusively pure battery electric vehicle sales and do not include any hybrid, ICE or other types of vehicle powertrains. These numbers comprise the last 4 quarters for each automaker, when you see down here in the labels. And then the total, which is labeled LTM, so LTM stands for last 12 months or the last 4 quarters. Overall, most companies that you see are fully updated for Q2 2025. A few companies are still missing, but this discrepancy in update quarter does not change the overall picture. The total sales that you see in this chart amount to slightly over 10 million vehicle sales over the last 12 months. This means that this group of companies accounts for the vast majority of total global EV sales. And for this reason, this chart is a very good proxy of the total EV market. I did exclude joint venture sales where possible. Joint venture sales comprise sales from companies where two different automakers each control 50% of a company, and where such sales are not consolidated. If sales are not consolidated, it means that the revenue and costs associated with those joint venture sales or not consolidated sales does not show up in the profit and loss statement. But to reflect their joint venture stake, what automakers do, they typically add a one-line adjustment in the profit and loss statement, and typically this even is below the operating profit line. For instance, General Motors has joint venture sales with a Chinese company, SAIC. This kind of distorts the picture, and that's why I excluded them. The key takeaways are, and I think it's pretty clear. One, there are quite a few red flags. That means the Chinese clearly dominate the global EV market. You see in front of you 32 companies, and 16 of them are Chinese. And by the way, Volvo is a company I also count as Chinese because it's controlled by Chinese automaker Geely. The next key takeaway is that Chinese automakers are significantly faster growing in the EV space, which means that the red Chinese flags that you see at the bottom, they will most likely move further to the left, and all other flags will most likely continue to move further to the right. But there is another key observation around all these Chinese flags. They tell us about the key problem of the Chinese auto market right now, which is that the Chinese auto market is oversupplied, not only in terms of vehicle models, but also there are simply too many competing auto companies, and that created an unsustainable situation. There's hardly anyone in China right now who makes money selling vehicles, and companies lose money left and right. This situation is not sustainable. The way they dealt with it thus far is by leveraging non-interest bearing types of debt, which include supplier financing. So what these companies did, they simply extended payment terms to suppliers, which is in essence a hidden form of financing by the supplier. But this is just one big problem in the Chinese auto market, and in a future video I will cover these issues in more detail, but this goes beyond the scope of this video. So the bottom line is, Chinese EV makers dominate clearly the global EV market by volume. The dominance is likely increasing. Since EVs at scale cost significantly less than other vehicle types, non-Chinese automakers face enormous competition once Chinese automakers found ways to avoid tariffs. For example, one such way is to build factories in tariffed markets in Europe and North America. I hope that was helpful. See you in the next one. Bye.